Each just to the throne of sky. The rebel laughs and the thunder replies. 10,000 spears come rolling down, but a monkey won't bow, he won't bow. A blaze of gold and a storm of blue. Every god that he faces he'll cut straight through. Changing form, claw, wing, and flame, the mountain shake.
Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're jumping into an absolutely incredible story about the one and only Monkey King, Sun Wukong, and his epic all-out battle against the entire army of heaven. But hey, before we dive in, if you love these amazing adventures as much as we do, you are definitely in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single story about our favorite Monkey King. All right, so picture this. Our story kicks off at what was supposed to be the biggest, grandest party of the year in the Heavenly Kingdom, the Great Peach Party. But when the guests started showing up, they found an absolute disaster. Yeah, when the great Bodhisattva Guanyin arrived, she saw total chaos. The tables were a mess, all the best food was just gone, and all the gods were whispering to each other, super worried. And it was all because of one very naughty, very, very powerful monkey. The Jade Emperor, the ruler of heaven, was absolutely furious. He started explaining everything the Monkey King had done. First, he snuck in and stole all the magical peaches that make you live forever. Then he drank all the special heavenly wine, and, to top it all off, he gobbled up all of Taishang Lajun's super precious life-extending pills. So Guanyin asked, "Who is this monkey?" And the Jade Emperor explained he was no ordinary creature. See, he was born from a magical stone, and he learned all these incredible powers. He was given this tiny job in heaven watching the horses, but he got so mad about it that he just quit. And then he demanded this huge, grand new title, the Great Sage Equal to Heaven. After all this trouble, the Jade Emperor had finally had enough. He ordered a massive army to go down to Flower Fruit Mountain and capture the Monkey King. And we're not talking about just any army. We're talking 100,000 heavenly soldiers. Now, you'd think 100,000 soldiers would be more than enough, right? Well, you would be wrong. Turns out catching this monkey was proving to be a pretty impossible task. The heavenly commander came back with some really bad news. He sent his best warriors, the 9 luminaries, but nope, they were defeated. So then he sent the entire army to attack. But Sun Wukong just used his magic to create thousands of copies of himself, and they pushed the whole army back. Hearing this, Guanyin's own student, the super brave warrior Huyan, decided he had to help. He grabbed his heavy iron staff and challenged Wukong himself. They fought like crazy for 60 rounds, but even he was no match for the Monkey King's power. He had to retreat. Okay, so with Heaven's best warriors totally defeated, Guanyin knew they needed someone special. She turned to the Jade Emperor and recommended a hero so powerful he might be the only one who could stop the Monkey King, the Emperor's very own nephew. And this was no ordinary god. This was Erlong Shen, a famous and mighty warrior with his own army, known for taking down the most powerful monsters out there. He was pretty much Heaven's last hope. You know what? Erlong Shen was actually excited by the challenge. When he heard the news, he didn't hesitate for a second. He just told the other generals, "Hey, you guys surround the mountain and just let me handle the Monkey King. It's time for a one-on-one battle of magic." And oh, what a battle it was. You have Erlong Shen with his crazy 3-pointed, double-edged blade, and Sun Wukong with his golden staff. They clashed for over 300 rounds. We're talking hours and hours of fighting, but neither one could get the upper hand. They were perfectly matched. So, realizing a normal fight just wasn't going to work, Erlong Shen decided to use his magic. He grew and grew and grew until he was a massive giant, as tall as a mountain. But Sun Wukong, he just laughed and used his own magic to grow to the exact same size. Now, 2 giants were battling it out. So during this giant battle, Wukong noticed his monkey friends were getting captured. He kind of panicked, shrank back to normal size, and tried to escape. And this started one of the most amazing magical chases ever. Wukong turns into a tiny sparrow, so Erlong Shen becomes a hawk to hunt him. Wukong dives into a river and becomes a fish, so Erlong Shen becomes an osprey to catch him. Then Wukong becomes a water snake, and Erlong Shen becomes a crane to peck at him. It was wild. Wukong knew he needed a better disguise. He spotted a clearing and, poof, he transformed himself into a small land temple. I mean, what a brilliant idea. His mouth became the doors, his eyes the windows, but he made one tiny mistake. He didn't know what to do with his tail, so he just stuck it straight up behind the temple and turned it into a flagpole.
But you can't fool Erlong Shen. He landed and immediately spotted the trick. He just laughed out loud and said, I've seen lots of temples, but I've never seen one with a flagpole at the back. That has to be the monkey. He was about to smash the windows when Wukong panicked and flew away.
The crazy magical chase kept going, with Sun Wukong even transforming into Erlong Shen himself to try and trick everybody. But eventually, they ended up right back where they started, on Flower Fruit Mountain, where the final showdown was about to happen. Way up above, at the southern gate of heaven, the Jade Emperor, Guanyin, and all the other gods were watching this incredible fight. They could see that Erlong Shen had Wukong surrounded, but they still just couldn't manage to actually capture him. Guanyin was just about to throw her own weapon to help out, but the wise Taishang Laojun stopped her. "Wait," he said. "Your vase, it might break. Let me use my weapon instead." And he pulled this glittering golden ring off his arm. Taishang Laojun took aim from all the way up at the gates of heaven and threw his weapon, the diamond snare, down toward the battle. It flew through the air just like a shooting star, heading straight for the unsuspecting Monkey King. Smack! The ring hit Sun Wukong right on the top of his head. He stumbled and fell to the ground. In that split second of confusion, Erlang Shen ordered his heavenly dog to rush in and bite Wukong's leg, tripping him up again. And that was the moment they needed. All the gods piled on top, tied him up with ropes, and pierced his collarbone so he couldn't use his transformation magic anymore. And just like that, after all of that, the great sage equal to heaven was finally captured. He was taken back to heaven in chains and brought to the demon-slaying platform to face his punishment. But is this really the end for our hero? I mean, what could heaven possibly do to someone who's immortal? I guess we'll have to find out next time. And that's where we're going to leave our story for today. If you liked it, please subscribe and turn on that little bell so you know when the next chapter is ready. We love reading your comments, and seriously, your encouragement is the motivation that keeps us telling these amazing stories. We'll see you next time.